What are the media people now? Why don't I throw media far like this? Now, all right? All right. Okay. Press now. So why are you combining?
Because they may want to ask some questions.
Copy to secretary and then give them copy.
It's allowed.
People, please be directed to kickstart this very function.
Peace and unity.
Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Ayu, the outgoing National Vice Chair, former National Publicity Secretary, Honorable Venatius, Senator Samuel Nnemeka. I am one of ethics, business and ethics in the Ed Senate. Good afternoon and welcome this afternoon to the press briefing of communique presentation of the
My colleagues in the National Working Committee and other senior members of the PDP family who are here, I want to thank the press most sincerely for the support they've given us for the last 3 days, or let me say, since we were elected on the 31st of October last month. Without your support, Nigerians and I guess the international community will not know that we had such a wonderful, successful convention. And since then, we have moved ahead in trying to move our party forward. So, having said that, as soon as we got elected, we hit the ground running. The Interim National Working Committee organized a 2-day retreat for the elected members, public officers, and other stakeholders of the party across the country. The theme of the retreat was Rescue and Rebuild Nigeria. Given that the new leadership of the party is coming into office at a very critical time in the history of our country, the many objectives of the retreat include to synergize, energize the new National Working Committee and the broad leadership of the party, to rededicate all party faithful to the founding ideas, that's the vision and mission of the PDP when we formed it, and to serve as a form of self-examination and renewal. That is, an orientation for those new to party politics and a reorientation for the politically experienced members. The retreat, which held on 23rd and 24th November 2021, had participants drawn across the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Numerous papers covering a variety of topics were presented at the retreat, of which the main papers was the one by Professor Jerry Ghana on the overview of the PDP from 1998 to date, to it should be 2021, not 2015. And others by our first secretary, His Excellency Dr. Kwesili Eze-Nwodo, which looked at the ways we can reform our party. And there were several other presenters. As you must have observed, The retreat was very well attended. From the chairman of the Governors Forum, Honorable Aminu Tambua, to our former Vice President, many governors, and other very senior members of the party. There are several observations. Participants observed as follows. One, the terrible security situation in the country that threatens the corporate existence of Nigeria. The collapse of national security has made Nigeria to begin sharing sovereignty with terrorist gangs and rogue elements. We looked at the lack of vision, capacity, ability, and competence on the part of the ruling APC, which are driving Nigeria towards a failed state. Through incessant borrowings, the Muhammadu Buhari regime has returned Nigeria to the status of a beggar and a debtor nation. The collapsed economy, infrastructure, and the comatose manufacturing sector under the APC regime have pushed over 30 million people into unemployment and underemployment between June 2015 and now. From the largest economy in Africa as at May 2015 when the PDP was in power, Nigeria under APC has suffered 2 recessions and become the poverty capital of the world. The unprecedented nepotism and divisiveness of the APC federal government is fueling separatist tendencies in the country. Nigeria cannot survive another 4 years of APC misrule. The PDP must put its house in order to win the trust of Nigerians and be seen as a serious alternative to the APC, to the failed APC administration. We have to make Nigeria a workable and functional federation, an imperative by the incoming PDP government to restructure Nigeria. The participants in the retreat made the following vital recommendations, among others. 1, that the incoming NWC should hold periodic retreats and roundtable dialogues to clarify its position on issues affecting the country. That the NWC should commence sustained dialogue with the Nigerian electorate before the next round of elections. That the PDP should engage different segments of the voting population, especially to encourage youth and women demographics in the rescue and rebuilding process. The new leadership of the party should, in line with the party's slogan, return the PDP to the people by entrenching the culture of internal democracy as envisaged by the party's founding fathers. The new party leadership should enthrone the principle of party supremacy in the PDP so as to enhance order, discipline, unity, unanimity of purpose, and ultimately landslide victories come 2023 and beyond. Members at all levels should rally around the new leadership so that it effectively reforms, repositions, re-energizes, retools, and redirects the party towards regaining her lost glory and rescuing the country. PDP to see an emergency need for economic recovery and diversification through appropriate fiscal and monetary policy implementation approach that will help grow the nation's export potentials, stabilize the foreign exchange regime, and present an attraction for local and foreign investments. The new NWC should, as a matter of urgency, revive and retool the People's Democratic Institute, that is the research wing of the party, as the brain box the research and policy arm of the PDP. The incoming leadership of the party should explore alternative sources of funding for the party through registration fees, annual dues, statutory contributions, sales of mementos, etc. 10. The task of rescuing and rebuilding the nation is a national emergency. It requires sacrifice, dedication, laser focus, and the cooperation of all. The outgoing NWC praised the incoming NWC led by the PDP National Chairman and my Honorable Self for organizing a very successful retreat with quality attendance from all over the country. It noted that the fruitful deliberations and out-of-the-box prescriptions are all indications of PDP's rebirth and resurgence. The incoming NWC, in return, thanked its outgoing counterpart for its cooperation and full support. We equally commended party faithful, especially elected governors under its banner, for making out time to attend the retreat to strategize on the way forward. We assure Nigerians and the international community that under the leadership of the PDP, Nigeria shall rise again.
I'm sure the chairman was straight to the point, but for avoidance of doubt,
There are, in the communique, you can cover every single thing that was discussed in the retreat. But every single item raised is going to be addressed by the time we come into office. Accountability will remain our watchword. And I want to assure all of you here present and the Nigerian people that we will run the PDP administration as transparently as possible. However, we cannot ascertain the facts until we get into office. When we are in office, we'll look at all possible reports, and the outgoing NWC had set up different committees to look into different things. We'll take all the reports, review them, look at the facts, and attend to each issue according to the facts available to us. Anything which is presented as an allegation is subject to very detailed study before we take any any action. So I want to assure you that we'll try to clean our house. We don't want to say we are perfect, but we try to clean our house following due process. And that due process also includes exhausting all internal mechanisms before we bring in any external agency. That is, when we cannot resolve the issue and we think it's weighty and serious enough, then we will go beyond the mechanism provided for by the PDP Constitution and other processes that we normally resolve our issues. The second one was on the Electoral Act. Honestly, I have not read the Electoral Act, and I believe many members of the NWC here haven't. But our members in the National Assembly have been briefing us. We will discuss them as a party and take specific positions on every issue. I cannot tell you what the outcome of the discussions in the party, because we have different organs of the party. We have the NWC, which is the body charged with the responsibility of running party affairs on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. Such issues will be examined by the NWC as a whole. Those that require going to the caucus of the party will be taken to the caucus. those that require moving to the BOT, which is another important organ of the party, will be taken to the BOT, and those that require taking to NEC, the National Executive Council of the party, will be taken to NEC. So we believe in following due processes in everything that we are going to do, and that includes the issue of the Electoral Act, because every organ or platform within the party have to be carried along so that when we speak as the NWC, we are speaking the mind or the decisions of the party as a whole. It will not just be a decision of myself as the chairman or the decision of a few of us who are here given the task to run the party affairs on a daily basis.
Thank you very much, sir. Two more questions. The area is not covered.
Petroleum, an increase in the price of petroleum products. The PDP does not believe in visiting more hardship on the Nigerian people. The party has not discussed the issue of petroleum prices, but we know our general position is that the people of Nigeria are already hard-pressed. There is so much hardship. We have reflected this in our communique generally. If you are poor in the first place, you are not going to benefit from what is called petroleum subsidy. Who really is the government subsidizing? Is it the poor or is the rich? Those who are marketing petroleum products. This is a very, very important question, which the PDP will discuss and take a position when we have all the facts. But I want to assure Nigerians that when we come back to power as a party, everything will be done to make sure that the massive suffering that Nigerians are going through, because if you increase petroleum products today, with the kind of poverty Nigerians are in, it means there will be enormous difficulty in transportation. Food prices will escalate, and they're already very high out there. You will find that crime rate will increase. Every single vice which has escalated under the APC will double. So instead of taking us to the next level of suffering, the APC administration is trying to take us to the highest level of suffering, and ultimately taking Nigerians to a position of non-existence. Because as one of the young people who presented yesterday said, there are many young people today who are either selling themselves or even exiting from the world because of the hardship that the APC has brought on the Nigerian people. We'll try to reverse this trend. The second issue is whether PDP is hard sell. Well, between 2015 to 2021, Nigerians have seen what APC propaganda against PDP that we are not good enough has done to them. APC, 6 years of APC has done everything to destroy this country. There is more division in the country. Within the same communities, there's more division within states. Massive killings on a daily basis. If you go to Sokoto today, there's hardly any village that is safe. The same thing with Zamfara. 40 people killed, 70 people killed, 80 people killed. That has become a daily occurrence. You can't travel from here to Kaduna. Even the train that was safe is being attacked. Massive insecurity in the southeast, a lot of insecurity in the Niger Delta area. No part of Nigeria is safe because the economy is not expanding, and young people who should be gainfully employed are not employed. Beyond that, those who live in urban centers, I pity the women who go to the market. If you give your wife 50,000 to go to the market today, she will bring a little handbag, a little thing like this. And if you are not a very patient husband, you will fight that woman. That is what APC has reduced the country to. Families cannot even feed themselves. Health services, all we see today is daily flights by the president of our country for medical treatment, either in London or Dubai. Nigerians are dying on a daily basis because the hospitals are not just consulting clinics, but they have become mortuaries where you go to take corpses to go and bury. So there is so much wrong that the APC has done. I will be surprised if we are hard to sell. I think APC will be the hardest to sell. So at the end of the day, Nigerians have a choice. And I believe Nigerians should be given the choice. The rebranding process is precisely what we have started. We admit we are not angels. We made errors. But we also assert that we gave Nigeria the best possible that was available. Nigeria became debt-free. Communication was easier. We took care of banditry when it started. We made sure that there was abundant production of food in this country. There was so much. Most of the projects today being claimed by the APC were projects done by the PDP administration, whether it is roads, whether it's railways, and several other projects. So I think it is left to the Nigerian people to decide which of the two parties is harder to sell. But I believe at the end of the day, Nigerians will go for the PDP because maybe the devil you know is better than the one you don't know. The one they didn't know, they have seen the consequences. At least they knew our effort and will do much better because we have learned from some of the errors we committed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the incoming National Chairman and Chief Executive National Working Committee members and their deputies, gentlemen of the President and gentlemen. We will come to the end of this event, but I will invite the incoming Chief Administrator.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.